I wasn't supposed to hear it. I wasn't supposed to be there. But life doesn't wait for your permission before it shatters the walls you thought were solid. Sometimes it just rips the floor out from under you, without warning, without mercy. It happened on a Wednesday evening. Quiet, ordinary, the kind of night you never imagine will leave a scar. I'd finished work early for once and thought I'd surprise Claire, my wife of 7 years. On my way home, I stopped by her favorite little Italian cafe, the one tucked between the flower shop and the bookstore, to pick up her favorite tiramisu. I remember smiling the whole drive back, humming along to the radio, picturing her face lighting up when she saw me walk to the door with that white paper bag in hand. That image, her smile, her laugh, it's burned into me now like a cruel joke. When I stepped inside the house, the lights were dim, no scent of dinner, no soft hum of her voice floating from the kitchen, just silence, heavy and strange. Then I heard her voice. It came from the living room, quiet, low, the tone not of a wife chatting with a friend, but of someone whispering secrets meant to stay hidden. I slowed my steps, the floor creaking faintly under my shoes. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop. I just couldn't move. Something in her tone rooted me in place. Then I heard the words that ended everything. Don't worry. He has no idea. He still thinks I love him. Honestly, sometimes I feel guilty. But then I remind myself how much better I feel when I'm with you. He's safe, but you're what I really want. My heart didn't just break. It dropped. The world tilted. The tiramisu bag nearly slipped from my hands. She didn't know I was standing behind her, frozen, watching the woman I loved speak words that felt like knives. And in that moment, as her voice filled the room, I knew my marriage, my life as I'd known it, was already over. I didn't confront her. I didn't shout or cry or demand answers. I just turned around and walked out as quietly as I'd entered. The night air hit me like ice. My chest felt like it was caving in, each breath shorter than the last. I drove without direction until I ended up parked near the river, the city lights trembling in the water. I sat there for hours, gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. She had no idea that her mask had slipped, no idea that I'd heard the truth she'd hidden behind her smile. Her words replayed in my head over and over. He still thinks I love him. 7 years of marriage, 10 years together. And I was nothing more than a placeholder, the safe, steady man she used to keep her life from falling apart while her heart chased someone else. That night, I didn't go home. I slept, or tried to, in my car. But every time I closed my eyes, I saw her, laughing at my jokes, dancing barefoot in the kitchen, holding me when life felt unbearable. And then I'd hear her voice again, slicing through those memories, poisoning them until they hurt to touch. By morning, I was hollow. Exhaustion burned behind my eyes, but so did clarity. I couldn't pretend this didn't happen. I couldn't unhear her betrayal. But I also wasn't sure how to face it, to storm in and demand answers, or to stay silent and collect proof that what I'd heard was real. My heart wanted to scream, but my mind told me to wait. So I went home. When I walked in, Claire greeted me with that familiar warm smile, kissed my cheek, and asked if I'd eaten. She looked normal, radiant, even moving around the kitchen in her robe, like the devoted wife she wanted me to believe she was. My throat burned with the words I wanted to spill. I know, Claire, I know everything. But I said nothing. I needed to see more. Over the next week, I watched her, every detail, every small, suspicious thing that used to seem innocent, the late-night work calls, the sudden errands that lasted hours, the way she guarded her phone like it was sacred. Each time her lips curved into a secret little smile as she texted, a piece of me cracked a little more. Still, I stayed silent. Then came Friday. She told me she was meeting a friend for dinner, but something in her tone, too casual, too rehearsed, told me this was it. So I followed her. It felt wrong, dirty even, to trail the woman I loved. But I wasn't following out of jealousy. I was following the truth that had already begun to unravel me. I parked across the street from the restaurant, watched her walk in, confident, smiling, glowing in a way I hadn't seen in years. Minutes later, a man joined her. Mid-30s, sharp suit, perfect hair, that confident smirk that screamed I win. They didn't look like co-workers. They looked like lovers. The way her hand lingered on his, the way she leaned in and laughed freely, it was a version of her I hadn't seen since before she married me. My heart broke all over again, but this time it wasn't from shock. It was from certainty. When she left with him, I couldn't watch any more. I drove off, tears blurring the road until the city lights melted into streaks of color. I didn't plan the confrontation. I just couldn't hold it in any longer. When she came home later that night, I was sitting in the living room, the lights dim. "Hey," she said softly, hanging her purse, pretending nothing was wrong. "Who is he?" I asked. My voice didn't even sound like mine. She froze, just for a second, but I saw it. Then came the stammering denial. I don't know what you mean." "Don't." I snapped, my voice breaking. "Don't lie to me. I saw you tonight. I know about the calls, the texts. I was standing behind you when you said I was just safe." Her face drained of color. Her lips trembled, but no words came. Finally, she whispered, "I didn't want you to find out like this." I laughed, a hollow, bitter sound. "Oh, so there's a right way for me to discover that my wife doesn't love me?" Her eyes filled with tears, but I didn't feel pity. Not anymore. "Why, Claire?" My voice cracked. "Why keep me around if you didn't want me? Why let me believe this life meant something to you?" She shook her head, sobbing. "It's not that I don't love you. I do, but it's different with him. With him, I feel alive. You're stable, reliable, but not enough." I finished for her. I let out a shaky breath. "So that's what I am to you? The man who keeps the lights on. The one you lean on when life gets heavy. And he's your escape, your thrill?" Her silence said everything. I thought I'd explode, break something, maybe beg her to stay. But instead, a strange calm washed over me, a kind of quiet strength that only comes when the last thread of love snaps clean. "Pack a bag," I said quietly. Her head jerked up. "What?" "You heard me. Pack a bag. Go stay with him. You've already made your choice, Claire. You just didn't have the courage to say it out loud." She shook her head, tears streaming. "No, please. It's not that simple." "It is," I said, standing. My voice was steady now. "You betrayed me, and I can't unhear what you said. I can't unsee you with him. Whatever we had, it's gone." Her sobs grew louder, but I walked past her up the stairs and shut the bedroom door behind me. That night she left, I listened to the soft thud of her suitcase wheels on the floor, the quiet click of the front door closing, and then silence, the kind that fills your ears until it hurts. For weeks after, the house felt like a ghost of itself. Every corner whispered memories. The couch where we'd watch movies, the kitchen where we'd dance while cooking dinner, the bed where we once whispered promises that now meant nothing. I moved through life like a shadow, breathing but not alive. Months later, she called. Her voice trembled through the speaker. "I made a mistake," she said. "He wasn't what I thought he was. I want to come home." For a long moment, I said nothing. Once, those words would have been everything I wanted to hear. But now they meant nothing. Finally, I said, "Claire, there is no home. Not anymore. You burned it down when you chose him. I've learned to live without you, and I'm not going back to living with someone I can't trust." Her sobs filled the silence, but I didn't waver. I hung up, set the phone down, and looked out the window. The world outside was the same, sunlight spilling over rooftops, birds cutting across the sky. But inside me, everything had changed. I had lost a woman I thought was my forever, but in her absence, I'd found something I hadn't realized I'd lost along the way myself. Because sometimes the hardest part isn't losing someone you love. It's realizing they were never really yours to begin with. And that night when I walked away without a word, I thought I was running for my life. But in truth, I was walking toward a new one.